A war lost, a vengeance born. The ruins of a broken war. The Galactic War is over. Humanity lost. The Imperial fleet, cold, merciless, and unstoppable, descended upon the last free worlds with no mercy. Cities burned, armies crumbled, entire colonies were erased. In one final desperate battle, the last human warship stood against the Empire's relentless advance, and one by one, they fell. Now the survivors drift through the ruins of their past. The last survivors, deep within the wreckage of the battlefield's remains, a single ship still clings to life. The Oblivion's Edge, once a flagship of defiance, now a drifting hulk of twisted metal and shattered armor. Inside, a handful of warriors, engineers, and scavengers survive. They were not generals. They were not conquerors. They were the last ones left. Among them, Commander Orion Kale, a man who once swore to die before surrendering to the Empire. Now, he stands on the shattered bridge of his broken ship, watching the Empire's war machine consume the stars, and in his heart a single thought burns. We will not die in silence. A choice in the darkness. The survivors face the inevitable. They can surrender, live as exiles, and watch their world fade into forgotten history. They can run, hoping to hide on some nameless world, waiting for the Empire to find them. Or they can fight. But how? The Empire has countless warships, armies, and resources. The survivors have nothing but wreckage, until one voice speaks. A voice filled with rage, filled with vengeance. We build. Silence fills the broken ship. The others stare at Orion, confused. But then he speaks. They crushed our armies. They burned our worlds. They think we are nothing but ghosts, lost in the wreckage of war. But they forgot one thing. From wreckage, we forge weapons. From ruins, we build vengeance. And from rusted metal, we will give birth to the deadliest superweapon the galaxy has ever seen. The decision that changes everything. Orion turns toward the wreckage of a nearby war zone. The corpses of fallen battleships lay scattered across the wasteland. Titanic war machines, long thought dead and forgotten. But beneath their rusted frames, their cores still hum with energy, still waiting to be awakened. Orion clenches his fists. The Empire thinks we are broken. They are wrong. We will take their war machines. We will steal their technology. And we will create something they cannot stop. A superweapon. Unlike any before, Orion and his crew descend into the wreckage. They are no longer warriors. They are architects of vengeance. Among the ruins, they begin to plan the impossible, a warship greater than any dreadnought, a weapon capable of reducing entire fleets to ashes, a machine fueled by rage, designed for one purpose, total annihilation, a galactic superweapon, born from rust and ruin, and when it is ready, the Empire will learn what true vengeance looks like. The world of rust and ruin. The wind howls through the metal canyons. The sky is a perpetual haze of rust-colored storms, lightning crackling between the broken skeletons of fallen warships. This is Vortega 9, a world where fleets go to die, the Ya. Remains of centuries-old war machines stretch across the horizon, titanic dreadnoughts, half buried in the wastelands, their hulls corroded but their cores still pulsing faintly. Twisted wreckage stacked like mountains, the remains of battles so old they have been forgotten by history. A graveyard of metal and war, a cemetery of forgotten destruction, and now the birthplace of a new weapon. Scavengers among the dead. The survivors of humanity's last war pick their way through the wreckage. They are not soldiers anymore. Now, They are scavengers, engineers and architects of revenge. Orion Kale leads them through the metal ruins, searching for something usable, something powerful. Teams work to dismantle fallen battlecruisers, pulling out critical components. Old reactor cores are carefully excavated, their energy reserves still intact. Salvaged weapons, buried under mountains of debris, are uncovered and hauled back to base. They are not just collecting scrap. They are gathering the bones of war to forge something far deadlier. The discovery of something ancient, deep beneath the wreckage of a collapsed orbital fortress, Orion's team finds something unexpected, a sealed chamber, its doors untouched by time. They force it open. Inside, a relic from an age long before the Empire, a nano-forge matrix. The room hums with power, the ancient machine still active, still waiting, for a purpose. Orion steps forward, staring at the pulsing core. What the hell is this? Duran, his chief engineer, mutters. Saria, his second-in-command, scans the device. It's not just a factory, it's a self-replicating war machine. Orion exhales slowly. Then we've found exactly what we need. The power to build anything. The nanoforge matrix is not just a relic. It is a miracle of forgotten technology. A device that can reconstruct, enhance, and reshape matter into anything it is programmed to create. It can salvage wreckage, melt it down, and rebuild it, faster than any human engineers could. With it, they could do the impossible. They could forge a warship greater than anything the Empire has ever built. A superweapon designed for one purpose: vengeance. Orion turns to his people. We have everything we need. The metal, the weapons, the power. Now we build. A new ship rises from the ashes. The graveyard of warships comes alive. Scavengers work day and night, feeding wreckage into the nanoforge. It consumes rusted metal and decayed war machines, breaking them down and reforging them into something new. Day by day, the weapon takes shape, a frame of impenetrable armor, forged from the hulls of fallen dreadnoughts. Experimental engines, salvaged from ancient warships, giving it speed no Empire ship can match. A weapon core built from the remains of orbital cannons, capable of obliterating entire fleets in a single blast. An AI-driven targeting system, learning from the battles of the past to never make the same mistake twice. And in the heart of the ship, the nanoforge itself, its matrix integrating with the design, allowing the vessel to repair itself, evolve, and grow stronger with every battle. This is not just a warship. It is something more, something alive. And when it is complete, it will be unstoppable. Naming the beast, Orion stands before the towering hull of their creation. The wind screams through the scrapyard, dust swirling around the half-built Titan. His people gather, waiting. It is time to name the weapon they have forged. A name that will be whispered in fear across the galaxy. A name that will make the Empire tremble. He places a hand on the cold steel. His voice is steady. We call it the Revenant. A ship born from death and destruction. A ship that cannot die. A ship that will burn the Empire to the ground. The discovery of an ancient power, a pulse in the darkness, deep beneath the twisted wreckage of a fallen dreadnought. Something stirs. A low-frequency pulse, barely detectable, ripples through the metal graveyard. The nanoforge matrix, now integrated into the Revenant, is awakening something far older than the Empire itself, something forgotten, something powerful. Orion Kale doesn't know it yet, but he has just unlocked the most dangerous secret in the galaxy. Anomaly. Detected, Duran, the fleet's chief engineer, stares at his console, frowning. We have a problem. Orion glances at him. Define problem. Joran points to the readings. Unusual energy fluctuations in the ship's core. A spike in the nanoforge's activity. A power signature that shouldn't exist. Saria, standing nearby, crosses her arms. We barely understand the damn thing. And now, it's doing something on its own? Joran nods grimly. It's like it's searching for something, or connecting to something. Orion doesn't like where this is going. Then we need to find out what it's connecting to. The descent into the Ruins A scouting team is sent into the wreckage below the Revenant's construction site. Armed with plasma cutters and pulse rifles, they descend into the rusted catacombs of dead war machines. What they find is impossible. Beneath the layers of scrap and fallen ships, hidden deep within the planet's core, is a vault. A structure not built by humans. Not built by the Empire. Something ancient. Its surface hums with a strange energy. Symbols, not of any known language, glow faintly across its surface, and the nanoforge matrix in the Revenant responds. Its pulse syncs with the vault's energy. Something inside is waking up. The vault of the predecessors. The team breaches the outer layer, using the power of the Revenant's nanoforge to break through the impossible alloys. Inside, they find a chamber untouched by time. At its center, a floating construct, pulsating with golden energy. Orion steps forward cautiously. What the hell is this? Joran scans it, his voice barely above a whisper. It's not just a machine. It's a mind. The console beside the construct activates, flooding the room with holographic data. And then, a voice echoes through the chamber. Deep. Mechanical, alive. Designation Echo 1. Predecessor defense matrix activated. Foreign biological entities detected. Analyzing. Potential command authority. 62% probability. A machine that remembers. Echo 1 is not just an AI. It is the last remnant of an ancient race, the predecessors, who ruled the stars before the Empire even existed. The Empire never found this vault because they didn't know it existed, and now it belongs to Orion Kale. Echo 1 begins to speak, revealing fragments of a lost history, a war that predates the Empire, a war against something far worse, and buried deep within the vault's archives, the blueprint for a weapon that was never completed. Weapon so powerful, it was meant to wipe out an entire galactic civilization. The final piece of the puzzle. Orion and his team returned to the Revenant, bringing Echo 1 with them. The AI interfaces with the nanoforge, integrating its knowledge into the ship's systems, and, suddenly, the nanoforge's limits are gone. The Revenant is no longer just a warship. It is a weapon capable of self-replication, adaptive combat, and planetary destruction. A ship that can evolve. A ship that can repair itself mid-battle. A ship that learns. The Empire has no idea what's coming for them. Orion closes his fists. They gave us nothing but ruins. We will give them extinction. The countdown begins. The Revenant's final phase of construction begins. Guided by Echo 1's knowledge, the nanoforge's limitless power, and the will of humanity's last survivors, every piece of scrap is melted, reforged. Every weapon is optimized, integrated with forgotten predecessor technology. The galaxy is about to witness the birth of something beyond war. The Empire's reckoning is at hand, and when the Revenant is finished, nothing will stop it. Forging a nightmare. The graveyard of warships is no longer silent. Day and night, the nanoforge matrix works at full capacity. The Revenant is evolving. Ancient alloys are reforged, stronger than anything the Empire has ever seen. Weapon systems are rebuilt, optimized beyond human technology. Self-repairing circuits powered by predecessor knowledge pulse through the ship's skeletal frame. This is no longer just a warship. This is a force of destruction beyond human engineering, a weapon designed to end an empire. The War Council, choosing the Arsenal Orion. Kale stands at the center of the yaw. War room, surrounded by the scavenger engineers and ex-military tacticians who make up his crew. The Revenant is almost complete, but now they must decide its arsenal. The Nano Forge can build anything, and if they are going to fight the Empire, they need something the Empire cannot counter. Saria leans forward, voice firm. We don't just need a ship that can fight. We need a ship that can erase an entire fleet before they even see us coming. Joran, the chief engineer, nods. Then we need something new. Something they won't be able to defend against. Orion clenches his jaw. Then let's build a nightmare. The Revenant's arsenal, a superweapon. Like no other, guided by Echo One's predecessor knowledge, the team designs a weapon system unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen. The Singularity Cannon, the ultimate warship killer, a weapon that does not fire projectiles or energy beams. Instead, it creates a localized gravitational collapse, a micro-singularity. Anything caught in its wake is pulled apart at the molecular level. Shields, armor, entire starships, they don't survive. 1 shot, 1 ship, 1 annihilation. 2. Adaptive war drones. The unstoppable swarm, thousands of self-replicating drones, built directly from the Nano Forge. Each drone learns from battle, adapting in real time. If one falls, another is already taking its place, programmed to break. Through shields, disable weapons, and rip through hulls, they don't stop. Ever. Why destroy one enemy when you can command a swarm? Fears of the Phantom Drive. A cloaking system. Beyond science, not just invisibility. This is non-existence. A system that phases the Revenant out of standard reality. It cannot be tracked, detected, or targeted. The ship is there, until it isn't. They won't see us coming until it's already too late. The AI Core, a warship that thinks for itself. Echo One integrates directly into the Revenant's combat systems. The ship does not need a crew to fight. It can calculate attack strategies, faster than any living pilot. Each battle makes it stronger. The Empire fights with numbers. We fight with intelligence. Finalizing the design. The ultimate death machine. The Revenant is no longer human-made. It is a fusion of scavenger ingenuity, predecessor knowledge, and relentless vengeance. A machine. Built for one purpose. Extermination. Orion Kale steps onto the bridge for the first time. The ship feels alive beneath his feet. How long until she's fully operational? He asks. Joran smirks. We're running final tests now. And then, Orion presses. Saria meets his gaze. Then we burn the Empire to the ground. The Empire's stronghold, the Revenant, is ready, and the Empire still doesn't know it exists. Orion doesn't plan to give them time to find out. They select their first target, the Imperial Sector Command Station, the central hub for all fleet movements in this part of the galaxy. Destroy it, and the Empire loses control of the entire sector. It is heavily defended. Hundreds of ships, thousands of soldiers, planetary shields. But the Revenant doesn't need to fight fair. The Phantom Drive activates, the Revenant vanishes from existence, and the final war begins. The Revenant's first kill. The Imperial Sector Command Station orbits a barren world, its towering structure gleaming in the void. A fortress, a symbol of the Empire's absolute control. Inside, officers move with calm precision. Fleet movements are calculated. Supply chains are monitored. The Empire's war machine never stops. They do not fear an attack. After all, there is nothing left to challenge them. Then, the station's proximity alarms scream to life. A massive energy signature appears out of nowhere. The Revenant decloaks directly above them. Its weapons come online. The Empire's stronghold has seconds to react. It's not enough. A fleet reduced to ashes, the Revenant fires the Singularity Cannon. A swirling black void erupts from its core, spiraling downward toward the command station. The Imperial fleet scrambles. Too slow. The Singularity collapses the lead battleship, twisting it into itself until nothing remains. A shockwave rips through the station's shields, overloading them. Instantly, adaptive war drones flood the void, tearing through defenses. The Empire's flagship, a dreadnought, attempts to flee. The Revenant phases out of existence, then reappears right in front of it. A barrage of hyper-accelerated kinetic rounds smashes through the dreadnought's hull, breaking it apart like glass. Within minutes, the Empire's command station is defenseless, and then the Revenant's final weapon activates, erasing an entire world. The nanoforge matrix pulses within the Revenant's core. It draws energy from the destroyed fleet, recycling its very atoms. Echo 1, the predecessor AI, speaks for the first time since awakening, calculating total annihilation protocol. Processing. Target acquired. A chain reaction ignites within the station's core. An explosion erupts from inside, cascading outward in a wave of unstoppable destruction. The Revenant watches as the Empire's control center collapses into fire and debris. What was once a symbol of dominance is now nothing but ashes drifting in the void. Orion Kale stands on the bridge, watching the Empire's first real defeat. He doesn't smile. That was just the beginning. The Empire's retaliation. The attack on Sector Command spreads through the Empire like wildfire. Entire regions fall into chaos. Imperial governors panic, losing control of their fleets. Rebel groups across the galaxy rise up, believing the Empire can now be defeated. The Emperor himself receives the report. For the first time in decades, he feels fear, because the attack was not from a known enemy. It was a ghost. A legend whispered in the shadows. A ship that wasn't supposed to exist. The Revenant, the Emperor's voice is cold. Find them, erase them, burn them from the stars. The Empire mobilizes its full strength. They will hunt the Revenant to the ends of the galaxy. Because if they don't, the Empire itself may not survive. High Admiral Varos, the Empire's executioner. The Empire needs a hunter, and there is only one choice. High Admiral Valen Varos, the last undefeated strategist of the Imperial fleet. A commander who has never lost a battle, a man who has no mercy. He is given one task: find this ghost ship and end it. Varos studies every detail of the attack. He sees the impossible power of the Revenant. He knows this is no ordinary warship. But he also knows one thing. Every machine has a flaw. I will find theirs. He gathers his elite fleet, the hand of the Emperor. 5 dreadnoughts, each designed for planetary destruction. A stealth division, capable of hunting ships even in hyperspace. Thousands of elite TIE hunters, the best pilots in the Empire. He will not underestimate the Revenant, but when the final battle comes, he will be ready. The chase begins. Nowhere to hide. The Revenant's attack was a success, but Orion Kale knows the Empire will not rest. They are coming. And nowhere in the galaxy is safe. The scavenger fleet regroups in deep space. Saria turns to Orion. We can't keep running. We need a new strategy. Orion nods. Then we stop running. And we take the fight straight to the Emperor's throne. The Empire's final hunt. The galaxy is in chaos. After the destruction of the Imperial Sector Command Station, rebellion has spread like wildfire. Imperial governors have lost control. Rebel fleets strike at weakened military strongholds. The Emperor's forces are stretched thin, desperately trying to maintain order. But amidst the anarchy, one objective remains clear: destroy the Revenant. High Admiral Valen Veros, the Empire's deadliest tactician, has tracked the Revenant's movements. He speaks to his fleet, his voice cold, ruthless. The Empire is on the brink. We end this ship or we fall. His armada, the largest remaining Imperial fleet, moves into position. The final battle is coming. The Revenant's warpath Orion Kyle knows they cannot run forever. The Empire's resources are vast, relentless. If they don't strike first, they will be hunted down, system by system. His decision is final. We don't hide. We don't retreat. We take the fight straight to the Emperor's throne. His fleet of scavengers, rebels, and exiled warriors rallies behind him. They know the truth. This is their last chance. The Revenant is now fully operational. The Singularity Cannon is primed for mass destruction. The Phantom Drive allows them to attack from anywhere. The adaptive war drones are more advanced than ever, programmed to dismantle entire battle formations. This isn't just war. This is the extermination of the Empire. The Empire's final trap. But High Admiral Varos is no fool. He knows how the Revenant fights, and he sets a trap. At the heart of Imperial territory, the Empire's capital world, Primaris Ultima, awaits. A fortress world, heavily guarded by orbital defense platforms, planetary shields, and thousands of warships. Varos sends a distress signal, faking a mass evacuation. The Revenant takes the bait. Orion leads his fleet straight into the system, preparing to strike. And the moment they arrive, the trap springs shut. Dozens of Imperial dreadnoughts decloak. Thousands of Imperial fighters swarm from the capital's hidden shipyards. Massive orbital weapons activate, raining destruction from the planet's surface. Orion stares at the fleet surrounding them. They are outnumbered 20-1. Duran curses under his breath. We just walked into the gates of hell. Saria clenches her jaw. Then we set fire to the gates. The battle for the throne world, the largest space battle in galactic history, erupts. The Revenant vanishes into the Phantom Drive, phasing in and out of reality as it strikes from impossible angles. Imperial dreadnoughts explode in bursts of plasma fire. Swarming war drones rip through enemy formations, adapting to every countermeasure. The Singularity Cannon tears open black holes in the battlefield, devouring entire squadrons. But the Empire fights back. They are not just defending a world. They are fighting for survival. The Revenant takes damage, like never before. Its adaptive plating is failing under constant bombardment. Its energy reserves are draining. Its Phantom Drive begins to destabilize. Orion realizes the truth. We can't hold this position. Saria turns to him, eyes filled with resolve. Then we don't hold it. We finish this. The Revenant's final attack, Echo 1, processes billions of combat scenarios. Only one guarantees victory. Not a retreat. Not an escape. A final strike. The Revenant locks onto the Emperor's palace on Primaris Ultima. Orion knows the cost. If we do this, we don't come back. Saria nods. We didn't come here to survive. Duran grins. blood on his face. Let's make history. The Revenant charges its last remaining energy into the Singularity Cannon. The Empire's forces scramble to stop it. Too late. The planetary shields shatter. The Revenant fires. The fall of an empire. The Singularity Cannon's final shot rips through the atmosphere and strikes the Imperial Palace. The resulting gravitational collapse consumes the capital city. Buildings tear apart at the molecular level. The Emperor vanishes into the void. Primaris Ultima is no more. The Empire is no more. The Revenant's last moments. The backlash from the cannon's energy drain leaves the Revenant crippled. Fires rage across its decks. Its nanoforge is collapsing. Orion stands on the bridge, watching the Empire die. Saria grasps his hand. We did it. Joran laughs weakly. Hell of a way to go. The Revenant drifts into the void, its systems failing, but its mission is complete. Humanity has avenged itself, and though the Revenant will not survive, its legacy will never die. The galaxy in ruins. The Empire is no more. The throne world of Primaris Ultima is now a shattered wasteland, its once glorious capital city nothing but drifting debris in space. The Revenant's final shot did what no rebellion, no fleet, no army had ever done. It broke the Empire. But victory has a cost. Entire systems are left without leadership. Imperial warlords rise, claiming remnants of power. The galaxy fractures into chaos as rival factions battle for dominance. The war for vengeance is over, but the war for control has just begun. The Revenant's fate. The last transmission from the Revenant was a single pulse of energy. Then, silence. The once invincible warship was seen drifting into deep space, its hull torn, its core flickering. Many believe it was destroyed in the final blast. Others whisper rumors that the Revenant still exists, that somewhere it waits, and one day it will return. Orion Kale. Dead or alive? The name Orion Kale is now legend. A warrior who forged a weapon from ruins. A leader who destroyed an empire with a single shot. But no body was ever found. Some say he died on the bridge of the Revenant, watching the empire collapse. Others say he escaped, hidden among the wreckage, waiting for the right moment to reappear. His final words echo across the systems. We were born from wreckage. We will never die. The rise of new powers with the empire gone. The power vacuum grows. The imperial warlords, fighting for control, former admirals and governors, seize what remains of the empire. Each faction claims to be the rightful successor. Their fleets clash, their armies fight, their worlds burn. The empire is dead, but the battle for its corpse continues. The free systems, a new hope or a future war. Rebel factions declare victory, promising a new age of freedom. Former imperial territories struggle to rebuild, torn between diplomacy and war. Without the Revenant, can they hold their fragile unity together? Or will they become what they once fought against? The shadows of the predecessors, Echo 1, the predecessor AI, vanished with the Revenant. But before its disappearance, it sent one last transmission into deep space. A signal, repeating an ancient code. Something old has awakened. Something, not human. The galaxy may have destroyed an empire, but it may have awakened something far worse. A lone beacon in deep space. The screen fades to black. Then, a single distress beacon pulses in the void. The signal grows stronger. Something is still out there. The legend of the Revenant is not over. Not yet. A galaxy on the edge, the empire is dead. The Revenant's final strike shattered the old order. But now, chaos reigns. The galaxy stands at a crossroads, one step away from either a new golden age or another endless war. And the fate of it all rests on a single question. Who will take control? The struggle for power across the stars. New factions rise from the ashes. The Imperial remnants, warlords who still cling to the Empire's broken ideals. The Free Systems Alliance, former rebels struggling to maintain unity without a common enemy. The mercenary guilds, opportunists who thrive in the chaos, selling weapons and warships to the highest bidder. The Shadow Order, mysterious figures who whisper of a greater power hidden in the void. The war for survival is over. The war for the future has begun. The return of the Revenant. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claim to have seen it. A ghost ship, moving through the wreckage of fallen fleets. Its hull scorched, but still intact. Its core still pulsing with golden energy. No one knows if Orion Kale is alive. No one knows if the Revenant is waiting. But everyone fears what will happen if it returns. Because if it does, the war isn't over, it's just beginning. The last transmission, in the darkness of deep space, a signal pulses. Faint, ancient, and then a voice. Not human. Not entirely machine. A message, broadcasted to every system, every faction, every surviving Empire ship. The old order is gone. A new age must rise, but it will not be built on the ruins of war. The Revenant is watching, and if you choose destruction, we will return. The galaxy pauses, holds its breath. And now, the final choice belongs to them. Will they rebuild? Will they destroy? Or will the Revenant be forced to rise again? The screen fades to black. The signal goes silent. And the legend of the Revenant becomes the galaxy's greatest fear. Because if they make the wrong choice, vengeance will return, stronger than ever. And next time there will be no survivors.